of the Sig Sauer P938. I have the opportunity to buy 938 Legion, but why didn't I do it? Welcome everybody to the Concealed Carry channel. I'm Grant McLean. Thank you guys so much for coming by to check out this review of the Sig Sauer P938. It's kind of a cool little micro 1911 chambered in 9mm, and I'm excited to share these findings with you because it was a little surprising to me, even as many guns as I have and as many guns as I've shot. So anyways, go ahead and hit that like. Heck, if you are a supporter of people's ability to then defend themselves with a concealed carry gun, you support the concealed carry gun community or gun community in general, hit that like. You know, definitely helps out the channel, getting us high into YouTube's algorithm, and that way people can find great content like what we produce here on the channel. I do want to also say, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. We have a lot of new content coming out. We're doing like 2, sometimes 3 videos a week, and we want to make sure that you get as much knowledge and great reviews, honest reviews as heck you can watch. So make sure to hit that subscribe and have it notify you when we come out with new videos. Those folks who are Patreon supporters, I want to say thank you guys so much. We are looking to make this a full-time thing, and you guys supporting the channel has helped immensely. As you know, ammo costs money, guns cost money, range time costs money, and you guys have been fantastic. If you would like to support the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. In the comments below, you can go to our Patreon page and support us in the best way that you can help us out with. And those of you who are Patreon supporters, cool thing is you're going to be entered into our quarterly giveaway. And this quarter, we are giving away a Traeger grill. These prizes are picked by me, yours truly. They will always be $200+. I want to make it, you know, something awesome that I absolutely love. I have a Traeger grill. I absolutely love it. So I want to share that with a special Patreon supporter. So if you haven't become a Patreon supporter, go down into the description, click the link, become one. Those of you who are beyond the black shirt, you're going to get extra content beyond the black shirt, beyond the Concealed Carry channel. We're going beyond the black shirt. Oh yeah, baby. It's nice. Dude, was that insane?
That was really, really quiet.
So rifles, suppressors, a bunch of cool stuff that we don't show here on the Concealed Carry channel. So if you want to get that exclusive content, definitely become a Beyond the Black Shirt supporter. So again, thank you guys so much for those of you who are Patreon supporters. It means a lot to us. I do want to say thank you so much to the folks over at Northwest Armory. Since day one, you've been fantastic in letting me get kind of early access and my hands on guns, so that way I can go down to the range and come back with great content for these viewers. So thank you so much to the folks over at Northwest Armory. Heck, if you need to order a gun, you need to order one of these or a gun in general, visit nwarmory.com. The folks over Northwest Armory, like I said, are fantastic. They'll ship it out to your local FFL. You can pick it up there if you're not local to the Northwest here. Or if you happen to go into the store, tell them that Grant over the Concealed Carry channel sent you in. They're going to take very good care of you, of course, and say hi to Khaki because he's such a good doggy. X-Hunt Targets, these guys who have supported the channel with these awesome reactive targets have just been great. You know what? Go to xhunttargets.com if you'd like to order some of these high-vis reactive targets. Order them up. You're going to love them, especially if you live somewhere where it's rainy, because these are weather resistant and they are perfect for outdoor shooting. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into the unboxing portion of this Sig Sauer P938. It's going to come in a nice plastic case, as all SIGs do. Well, handguns. Okay, it's not going to come in that cardboard box. That'll save you a little bit of money right there, and you can run a lock through this case. Let's go ahead and open this up, and there we are. Sitting right up top, you have the P938. Awesome. We'll go ahead and jump into the specs here on that. Let's go ahead and remove it. Got your safety flag there. Inside the box, you have your manual, a little more propaganda, and sticker. That's important. Make sure everybody knows that you have that Sig Sauer. Nah, I'm just kidding. Put that on the toolbox. Nobody needs to know what you have. And we have your lock sitting underneath that foam. So that pretty much sums up everything that's in the box. Here we are. Let's jump into these specs real quick. We have the Sig Sauer P938. That's the model of the gun. There's a lot of variations of this gun. A lot of variations. I don't even know where to start with how many variations there are of this. This is a micro compact gun. It's a 9mm single stack. So like I said earlier, it's like a micro 1911 single stack. Now, I was kind of bummed when I opened up the box and there is one magazine. I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. This magazine, there's two different variations of the magazines too. So you have the model with the pinky extension right here, and then you have a flush fit magazine, so you can see this has that little extra pinky extension. And they also make a flush fit. The flush fit is going to be a 6-round magazine plus 1 in the chamber. The pinky extension magazine is going to be 7. Bummer thing is, when you only get one magazine, is, you know, these guns aren't cheap as is comparative to other 9mm micro compacts. These magazines are anywhere between $45 and $50 a piece. And of course, right now, they can be a little difficult to find, just as most gun accessories are during the pandemic. So that was kind of a bummer to me. Is like, shoot, I expect at least one flush fit and one pinky extension magazine, something like that, so I can make the gun a little bit smaller if I want it to be. But, you know, let's move on. The barrel on this is a 3-inch barrel. So it's definitely a small barrel. The length on this overall is 6 inches, including the little baby beaver tail there. The height is 4 inches with the flush magazine and about 4.5 inches with the pinky extension. The width is 1.1 inches. Now, if you have a model that has either the polymer grip panels on it or the G10, the widest part of the gun at 1.1 inches is going to be the safety and the slide lock release, okay, that lever. That's going to be the 1.1 inch. If you have the model with the Hogue grip right here, or you add it to your gun, that palm swell is going to be 1.25 inch, and that will be the widest part of the gun. The weight on this is 16 ounces. It's 1 pound. For being a metal frame with a metal slide, this gun is fairly light. And I do like how it's kind of traditional to that 1911 platform. I like that a lot. And I think that people who are used to a 1911 platform, who want a micro 1911 platform, and they want to do a 9mm, not a 380, I think that this is a good option. It's a good looking gun too, it really is. But looks only go so far, right? MSRP on this is all over the place. And like I said earlier, there's a lot of variations. So here's what I'm finding, is if I'm looking at all the different variations through all the different dealers, especially right now, during, you know, the first quarter of 2021, it's a poor representation of what you're going to find actually on the market prior to the pandemic, and then also moving forward in the future. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm seeing these sell anywhere between $675 as the base model option to about $775 for your more sought after options, like say the Legion, the P938 Legion. That's like the decked out version. Those, if you pay around $775, maybe $800, don't be surprised. That's not, I don't think that's going to be too crazy for that. But you know, you'll make up, in my opinion, if you use the Legion program the way it's designed through Sig Sauer. And if you guys don't know what that is, when you buy a Legion, you register that Legion, Sig's going to send you some free stuff. But then also you get a personal concierge at Sig Sauer. And so for accessories and things like that you want to order in the future through Sig, they're going to give you a discount. Plus, it's kind of nice. You have a personal concierge. And I keep in contact with my guy pretty often. I'm like, hey, what about this? What about this? You know, I run ideas by him too. Send him cool pictures from the channel and so on and so forth. So, Ryan, you're an awesome person, by the way. You just great people. So that, if you plan on ordering other accessories like a holster and things like that, even though the Legion might be a little bit more money, it could end up paying for that difference just in the savings alone that you would get. So just something to keep in mind. Let's talk about our time at the range. So here we are. We're at the range. We're pushing the target out 3, 5, 7, and 10 yards. And we're doing 5 shots in 2 seconds. So this is kind of a stressful situation. That's what it's to kind of recreate here. As you can see, the 3 yard is a nice tight group, 1.4 inches. Really happy with that. The 5 yards is a 3-inch group, and 2 of these shots, as you can see, are nice and tight. And then I got this kind of one that dumped off the bottom. The 7 yards, this one started to get kind of all over the place. This was a 4.5-inch group, which it looks like they're all over the place comparative to this small target. But, you know, of course, you're shooting at a silhouette. It doesn't look as large spread as it actually is. So 4.5-inch group, you know, it's like, you can see there, that's still smaller than my hand, you know. The 10 yard, the 7 yards is like, if you guys go back to my videos, oh my god, it's like my make or break yardage. And then, I don't know, somehow I just kind of pull things back together on the 10 yards. Except for the Sig SAS, the P365 SAS. That one I really shit the bed. Now the 10 yards, yeah, I know I'm drifting off to the left. All right, no surprise there. I didn't sight the gun in or anything like that. I grabbed it, I shoved rounds into it, and I just went for it. I had this flyer down here on the bottom right, and honestly, this grouping here is pretty darn good. This is like a 2-inch group, about a 2.25-inch group just with these 4, and then I had that doozy down there, and that's what made it a 5.6-inch group. Like I said, no bag, no rest, just taking the pistol and just pushing it out. Boom. 3, 5, 7, 10 yards, 5 shots, 2 seconds. That's what we're doing on here. I'm not too terribly disappointed in that as far as that goes, being that this is not a gun that I'm used to shooting, and I'll tell you, it operates really efficiently. The trigger, holy cow. This is, people go, I don't understand 1911 people. Pick up a 1911 trigger. This is very reminiscent of that trigger. It is a fantastic trigger, and we'll get you some up close shots of that. It is sweet. Now, I am surprised by this gun, and not in a good way, and let me tell you why. I have the P938. This is the Legion. I do a review on this, and you can definitely go into my videos and watch this. I adore this gun. It is, I mean, yeah, it's the even little smaller version of this. It's super thin, as you can see. Has those G10 grips. It's a very just light, it's a very light racking slide. I really like that. It just shoots super smooth with the metal frame. It absorbs recoil like a mofo. I love it. I was expecting to fall in love with the 938 just the way that I love the 238, and I didn't. I was actually really disappointed that it wasn't as smooth. It just wasn't all the things that just made me happy like the 238 does. Unfortunately, it just wasn't. Even when you lock back the slide, it was a little more stiff. It was a little, I don't know, felt less refined. And I was really disappointed in that. And that's worse than being angry. Nobody wants to be disappointed. Uh, but it's a good shooting gun. And I have to say this relative to other competitors in this micro compact 9mm, metal on metal, so metal slide, metal frame. I will still say that this is the best choice in my opinion. But I just wish that I had fallen in love with it like the P938. I just wish that. The recoil, it just wasn't as smooth. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I was kind of bummed. But, you know, if you are in the market for a micro 1911, you like how thin it is, you like the operation system of a 1911, the hammer, God, the trigger is just incredible, then, you know, I'm going to walk you through what you'd be jumping into with this gun. So we're going to start off with the sights up top. Now, the sights on this particular model, they are a tritium night sight. They're a 3-dot sight, as you can see here. On the Legion, it's a 3-dot sight. It's just a little bit different. Like the rear sight it just has the tritium in there. On this model, it has the 3-dot sight. And these are a dovetail sight, so you can swap these out if you felt inclined to. They function well. It's more so, like I said earlier, it's about the recoil management, especially when you start to get, the target further out there, because the sight radius on this is pretty short. The slide is machined very well. The serrations are nice. I would have liked for this model here to have the front serrations in case you wanted to manipulate the slide in that fashion. So it doesn't have that. But some people, they do like that where they don't have the front serrations. That's completely up to you. If you are one of those people who do want the front serrations, check out the P938 Legion. You'll see those front serrations on there. And like on my 238, they're easy to get a hold of. They're not super big, but they're big enough to be better than just an aesthetic serration on there. Going into the controls, I do like the safety on this. It's not too big to where it's making the gun extra wide or kind of catching on things, but it's not too small to where you can't find it and manipulate it. So I do like that safety there, and it is ambidextrous from the factory, which is great. The hammer is very easy to get a hold of and manipulate as well if you need to do that. And the slide lock release, I mean, it's basically a 1911, just compact, a little bit smaller, but the functionality is very good. Now, if you have smaller hands, don't be surprised if this slide lock release lever there is out of reach of your thumb. You will more than likely be operating that slide lock release lever with your support hand, just like you would on a 1911. So don't be surprised if you're operating it, with your left hand. As I tell a lot of people, get used to slingshotting the gun. When you run empty, you put in that mag. Just get used to slingshotting that gun forward. That way, if you are left-handed or you cannot reach that slide lock release lever, you have something that's going to be easy to manipulate right there. The magazine release, unfortunately, is not ambidextrous. It's going to be on the left side of the gun. That is what it is. We'll go ahead and jump into this trigger now. These triggers are absolutely phenomenal. I really like that this is a slight curved trigger and it has a serrations on the trigger there, so you get a nice grip on it. Let's go ahead and do some trigger pulls here. You get that nice flat trigger, and oh man, this thing, I mean, there's like no take up. Oh, yeah. This is a nice light trigger, and you're pretty much, I mean, you maybe have, let's see here. You maybe have a 1/16 of an inch in take up, and then you're at the wall, and you know, you're looking at about 5 pounds or so, and it's just a crisp, clean break. Now take a look at the reset. The reset is just as beautiful. There it is. That's it. Awesome. Really, really love this trigger. If you do want to get a flat face trigger, I would again look to the Legion variation of this. And if you don't know what the Legion kind of stuff is through Sig Sauer, basically it's like the Mercedes, and then you have the Mercedes AMG, where it's just that much more refined. That's the best way I can describe it, is you just have that more refinement to the gun, and you know, different color and so on and so forth, different type of trigger. It's going to set itself apart from other 938s, or like with the 238, you know. It's going to just set itself apart from that. So if you want kind of those things, then look to the P938 Legion. The frame here is very well crafted. Just the coating is fantastic. The machining is fantastic. It does not have a rail on the front, but keep in mind, this is a micro compact pistol. This is a very small pistol, so I do understand that why they wouldn't have a rail on the front. There is room for an accessory here if you wanted to get something that clips on to this. You'll see through like Crimson Trace, they do make accessories that you can clip onto this, and many of them are going to have a activation button that your middle finger will activate when you go to grip the gun. Keeping that in mind, if you're looking at one of the models with a Hogue grip on it from the factory, you may have to remove that when you put that on. Or if you have a model that does not have the Hogue grip and you're looking at that laser, keep in mind that's probably going to take the Hogue grip off the table as far as you putting that onto it. Let's go ahead and talk about the mag release here. The mag release is very easy to depress and push. Now, being that it is such a small gun, you can see that my palm is past this mag release. That can be a factor, and I know that it is, because I've had people like with the P938 XL, where you have the XL that has the flared mag well that basically gives you room for the magazine to drop freely without moving your hand, versus like the regular P938 with a 10 round or 12 round, and that's part of the grip where they have to move their hands completely out of the way for that magazine to drop, as far as that goes. So that can be a factor. It's definitely something I would say to consider. Now, with this Hogue grip, it does make the gun wider. And even for myself, I have medium-sized hands. I find that reaching this mag release is just a tiny bit out of, you can see there, it's just a tiny bit out of reach to really get a good positive grip and manipulate that mag release. That can be a deciding factor for you, but keep in mind, you know, 2 screws here and on the other side, and you can take those grips off and have something really flat, and that can definitely be the difference of, you know, you being able to manipulate that mag release as is. I would say if you are going to use a pinky extension, certainly practice a lot, you know, on that mag release. These magazines, for some reason, and I've kind of found this with other P938s, can be a little stiff to kind of, you almost have to, like, they hit the mag release here on the inside and stop, so you really gotta really get them in there. But at the same time, when you're dropping the magazine, they do get a little stuck going out as well, which I know can drive people crazy. over time, I feel that this will certainly loosen up, and I know it has with my 238. So that mag comes out just fine, but you can see actually here, it does kind of hit that mag release, and I just give it a little pop. So I'm not too concerned about reinserting the magazine into it. I don't mind giving a little pop there, but it does, it kind of annoys me that, it's like when I drop the magazine that it's not coming out, it's not freely falling. So yeah, I feel that is certainly going to loosen up. So good idea, especially right now with ammo being the prices that they are. Get some snap caps, run the gun through, get familiar with it, drop that mag, reload that mag a bunch again and again and again. I think that just that in general is going to help a lot with the functionality of the gun and breaking it in without having to put a bunch of rounds down range with it. If you like this whole platform and you got to this point in the video and you're like, well, that sucks. I want a gun where I don't have to move my hand all out of the way to get that magazine out. Well, guess what? The 938 Legion has a flared magwell built into the grip. So instead of using a pinky extension, the flared magwell, there is like a little pinky extension to the magazine, but the flared magwell comes down and kind of covers the edges, as you can see here, kind of covers the edges of the magazine. So you have a little extension, but it's going to cover a lot of the edges of the magazine, and that way you don't have to move as much of your hand to drop that magazine and do a reload. I guess what I'm just trying to say is go get the P938 Legion. I'll tell you what, if I was to buy a 938, I would buy the Legion. Now, I have the opportunity to buy a 938 Legion, but why didn't I do it? Why don't I actually own one of these? I know some viewers will say, oh, okay, this guy's just a Sig, everything Sig, Sig, Sig. I love Sig Sauer. I certainly do, for certain reasons. But also, I haven't bought one of these guns, and I haven't bought the Legion version because of this. Right here. The P938 is, well, this is the XL. But I want you to imagine that we're talking about the regular P938. And even look at like my TAC Pack video as well. It's a 3.1 inch barrel. This one's a 3.7 inch barrel. But my point is this. If you take a look at these guns side by side, they are very close in size. Now, I know that I have the Romeo 0 on this, but you could certainly take that off. And if you get the 3.1 inch version of this and you put it next to this gun, the entire gun will actually hide behind this gun. This gun is bigger than the P938. Now, the thing is width-wise, look at that. They're almost identical in width. In fact, if you have the Hogue grip, it's actually wider on the grip palm swell than the magwell is on this, right? So that's kind of the thing is in this size of a platform, in that P938 is a freaking smooth shooter. You are gaining 7 rounds with the pinky extension. The P938 starts, and I have the XL one here, so let's go to, it's going to be a 12 round. To be that height, it's going to be a 12 round mag. Instead of 7 with a pinky extension, you get 12 rounds. In a smooth shooting platform with upgrades to the moon and back. And if you decide you want to go with the XL, you have a 3.7 inch barrel that comes with an optic cut from the factory. You're certainly I mean, you certainly can do an optic cut on this gun, and you can add a threaded barrel to it. You know, and now we're kind of nitpicking, but I'll be honest with you, that's why I have not been in a rush or really had any type of want or need to fill for a micro compact 9mm, even as cool as I think the 1911 platform is, and I love 1911s. In my opinion, this gun here, whether it be the XL or the standard P938, is a better shooting gun, except for the SAS. That SAS. It's a really cool sight, but it's all over the place. For a reliable, good shooting gun with a lot of rounds packed into such a little frame. That's my take on it. So I'm not trying to tell you folks that are looking at this gun going, I really like this gun. You know what you're getting into. Same story that you got into with the 1911, right? Single stack 45 or single stack 9. You're topping out at 8 rounds unless you pop in like a Wilson Combat or Chick McCormick Power 10 magazine sticking out this far out of the base pad. Hey, not hating on that. I like them. I love 1911s. However, this just beat it out. The P938 just beat it out at the end of the day. And that is what it is, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But if you love that 1911 platform, and I got to tell you, the trigger in this is light years better than the P938. But, you know, without any type of modification to it. I would say, if this gun, you love it, you love that platform, stick with it. Go with it. But those of you who haven't made a decision yet and you're kind of bouncing around on which one to go with, I would say, well, one, shoot both if you can, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But the P938 is a fantastic option to keep in mind. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much again for joining me today on the Concealed Carry channel. You know what? Not all reviews are just like, you know, fireworks and Cupid arrows flying through the air that I love the guns. Hey, and it is what it is, and this is my personal opinion. You know, take it with a grain of salt, if you will. But I really thank Northwest Armory for making sure that I can get these guns into my hands and get down to the range and come back with great footage for you and content for you to help you make a well-educated decision if that's what you're here looking for. I want to say thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. You guys have been awesome. And again, if you'd like to help out the channel in any way that you can, we'd greatly appreciate it. Go into the comments below, click the top link. That'll take you to our Patreon page, and you can support the channel in any way that is comfortable to you. By supporting the channel, like I said, you will get an entry in for our quarterly drawing, and this quarter we are giving away a Traeger grill, which is super sick. It's a $600 something grill. I have one. I love it, and I'd love to share that, you know, experience with a lucky viewer, a lucky Patreon supporter. And anyways, like I said earlier, if you need to order a gun, go to nwarmory.com, order it from them, have it shipped to your local FFL. Or if you happen to go in the store, tell them that Grant sent you in, buy the gun. You know what I mean? They're gonna take care of you, so they're good people. And then, like I said, X Hunt targets. They make the awesome reactive targets we use here on the channel. So after this, you know, check out their website, xhunttargets.com. Order up some targets, especially if you go out shooting and it's a little bit rainy where you are. These weather-resistant targets are just sweet. But anyways, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time here on the Concealed Carry channel. Scoop, there it is. Oh my god, that commercial.
That commercial's so
super funny.
Is that
tag team? All right. Hold on a sec. Let me redo this. Go ahead and delete all that.
Okay.
Just need to get back on my horse. All right, I'm just gonna redo it all.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just yeah.
No problem.
I'm just gonna redo it all.
Yeah. No problem.
Take 47,000. We're gonna take out all of that I just said. How much have we recorded already? I don't know, 20 minutes. This is where people don't even know. Like they're looking on YouTube like, God damn, that's a long review. 30 minutes. You guys have no idea how long it takes to actually do this review. It's like 15 hours put into a 30-minute video. Did that take a curveball on you? Are you like, where's he going with this?
Yeah.
Why did I not buy this gun? Victor. Maybe I need one for both. Stefano. Victor. Where's Hope? Where's John?
People are gonna think that you watch Days of Our Lives.
People think they're positive. That shit was just grinded into my frontal lobe.
Even your brother feels
As
the
a
same
child.
way.
He's like, oh my god. But my mom's in complete denial. I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that. You kidding me? I was just hoping that you'd get off there so I could watch some turtles. I'll watch some Ninja Turtles. Now I'm dealing with Victor. You know what? I hope my mom realizes what she's done to me. Here I am. Grown-ass adult.